Ladies and gentlemen, when it comes to electric vehicles, new players have emerged from around the world, around the country. Companies like Workhorse here in the United States has started to expand. Even Chinese companies coming into the United States started to expand, such as Candy. And then you have other electric vehicle plays like Lee Automotive. But BIDU actually will be the number one disruptor in the industry, in my opinion, if they do decide to go down the route. Think about it. A, they have access to almost tied for the largest populous country on the planet in China. India would be slightly first. And they have the support of the entire Chinese government, making it easier for them to break through the red tape, so to speak, as opposed to a Tesla. So what is Baidu exactly doing? Can it be the new Chinese Tesla? We're going to also go into the real live, raw, unfettered, unvetted emails of Newsbeat Live members. And don't worry, we're not the scammy guru who can only show what he or she does well. We will also show you traders potentially struggling in our service and how we go about helping them and potentially helping you as well. I am Mark Melnick, and this is the Newsbeat Show. Kindly read this entire disclaimer after pausing this slide and reading this in its entirety, and then hit play on your browser. Thank you so much for reading it. I appreciate you. Okay, let's go right into the Ask Mark. Um, you know what? We're not going to go right into the Ask Mark. We're going to go into Baidu. We're going to go right into Baidu right now first. Exclusive China search giant Baidu considers making its own electric vehicles. And three people with knowledge on the matter, according to Reuters, says it's the latest move in a race among top tech firms to develop smart cars. So what happens is Baidu, they actually develop autonomous driving technology and internet connectivity infrastructure, meaning they're going to have a place inside electric vehicles, whether they actually sell the machines or not. Their software could be potentially in other electric vehicles. Um, what happens is you see companies like Google, and Baidu is really famous for being, the Chinese Google, as they call it, and Amazon and Tencent also doing things like this. Baidu declined to comment, but they have a strategic partnership. GAC said it had a strategic partnership with Baidu, and any further cooperation was subject to discussion. So just to give you an example, when people think when people think of the very large China automaker, the first thing you're going to actually think of is usually NIO, NIO, November India Oscar. And NIO is a very large market cap. I mean, it's a $61 billion company. It's a pure electric vehicle play. They hemorrhage money like it's nobody's business. Their earnings per share is they're losing $44 a share. It's a $43.50 company, by the way. They're losing $44 a share. I mean, keep in mind, Tesla was also hemorrhaging to death before they actually started doing a lot better and, actually making money. When you actually look at Baidu, though, Baidu is actually a smaller company as well, 63 billion, not almost as big as actually Neo. With the difference is Baidu actually makes a ton of money. They make $12.83 a share. They have a $14 PE ratio. And if you actually look at, for example, the maximum chart here in a Baidu, you'll actually notice this, that Baidu is not even remotely close to the all-time highs. It's about 100 points off, $284.22. And it's definitely one of the names that have not been participating in the all-time high run. So all of a sudden we see, if you haven't noticed recently, Baidu has been on an absolute tear. Literally in the past about 14 trading days, it went from 132 to 185. So basically went up about 50% approximately. The stock is massively up after hours right now, and it looks like it's going to make a clean move to 200 bucks, or at least traders have to be thinking that, that $200 is around the corner. Whether it gets there or not, it's definitely something to, think logically that, path of least resistance to a psychological whole number. So, going back in terms of triggers here, 197.17 is going to be a key level to watch as this news came out on Baidu today that they're thinking of penetrating the electric vehicle market. And it's very interesting because you're actually getting over the 200 moving average yet again. Last time it dipped below the 200 moving average and got above it was actually right here back in July 2017. The stock ran from 186 to 274 in a matter of a few months. But 100-point move in a company this size is kind of a big deal. So I just wanted to bring that up to you guys that it is very interesting here. It's definitely trying to maybe make a play on Neo. I think people are thinking even if Baidu does not produce the cars, which they may or may not, time will tell all truths. It will be very interesting to see if Baidu wants to actually make a run towards $200 this week. Um, and I think you could get obviously a lot of volatility there. And it's going to put this stock on a radar because it's going to be on more traders' windows. We were watching Baidu today. We were watching it recently as well. We were actually following it through these upgrades and these run-ups. And I just want to take you to the little bit of the analyst side here real quickly. And just show you what's happening. So, what happened was on December 8th, right over here. I find this funny. And gotta admit, I mean, just straight up, these Chinese companies are shady as F. They are shady as F. They do mad sus things. Mad sus things. And if you don't know what sus is, we'll show you, what sus is. It's gotta keep you guys in terms close with the lingo, and then I'll show you exactly what they did, which is sus. And according to Urban Dictionary, sus is a shorter version of the word suspect, usually used to define someone or something that looks suspicious or untrustworthy. That's what sus is. Just like this ad here is mad sus too. Like what is she doing there? Anyway, back to Baidu. We're going to show you exactly what they did here. And I find this mad sus, yo. Just mad sus. And I'm going to show you exactly what happened. Instead of showing you the small print, I'm going to just blow it up for you right here. Baidu increased, this was on December 8th. They increased their share repurchase program to 4.5 billion from 3 billion. They want to start buying a billion and a half more dollars now. It's a $60 billion company. It was actually cheaper when they actually announced it on December 8th because Baidu was over here by $145 as opposed to $185. So literally they're coming out and they're saying, okay, we're buying like 4% of our market cap more than we were doing before. They announced that its board of directors have authorized a change to the company's share repurchase program, increasing the value of the shares that may be purchased from 3 billion to 4.5 billion. The share repurchase program is effective through December 31st, 2022, meaning they can buy anywhere between now and pretty much 2 years from now. That happened on December 8th. Immediately after they did this, literally the very next day, UBS Warburg comes out, UBS analyst comes out and upgrades it, upgrades this stock to buy from neutral with a $190 price target. All right, kind of interesting after the whole sus move. Now I'm going to show you what's going to blow your panties off. So what's happening today is they literally announced that Mizuho, they're having analyst firm Mizuho is going to have a conference call with them with management tomorrow. So let's get this straight. So this morning, according to Reuters, we had Baidu literally coming out. This all happened today, December 15th. Baidu came out today saying it's considering making its own electric vehicles with automakers including Shenzhen Geely, which if you don't know who Shenzhen Geely is, I think they have a very large stake in Candy or did a JV partnership, a joint venture partnership, JV partnership with Candy as well. Look up these guys. These guys are no joke. Guangzhou Auto, and excuse me if my Mando isn't up to par. Got to work on that Mando. Got the Cantonese going a little better than the Mando. You have the Guangzhou Automobile Group, and China FAW's group Hongxi on a possible venture, the people say. Tencent, Amazon, Alphabet have also started auto-related technologies invested in smart car startups. Then, today, the same day that that came out, check out how sus this is. They're having a conference call with Mizuho. Now, just to explain to you how these Chinese automakers work. In China, the companies have to be very like this with the government. Publicly traded companies basically have to share everything they have to do with the Chinese government just based on simple Chinese law. It's a different governing system. So when they're setting up a call with Mizuho, the first thing I think is the only thing this is going to be is simply beneficial for you. I mean, you're not going to have a call with what do you think is going to, and anything can happen. I'm not saying anything will or will not happen, but think about it like this. Do you think they would set up a call with Mizuho and say, hey guys, how are you doing? Yeah, we're really struggling here at Baidu. We're not really sure we're going to make our earnings estimate. We just wanted to bring you guys over to have this conversation. Mizuho would be like, like, no, that doesn't happen. They're probably going to say, this is how big the electric, and I'm making this shit up. This is how big the electric vehicle market is. This is our potential market. And they look at China, and you just take a look at all the Chinese people. Here, let's check out China population. Hmm. They have like few people. In 2018, they estimated it at all right. So in 2020, they're saying that it's 1.4 trillion people, or 18.5% of the total world population. Yeah, they have a market or two. They have people who might be interested in their services. So they're calling up Mizuho. What do you think they're going to do? I'm telling you what I think they're going to do. And again, making this up. Could be wrong. I don't know. I think they're going to reach out and say, this is what we're doing with electric vehicles. We're going to be in every electric thing. We're going to be in every electric vehicle car. Do you think the Chinese government is going to want to know the location of everyone's electric vehicle, listening to what's happening in every single electric vehicle, know exactly where it's going, and potentially even control it if needed? What do you think? Am I thinking too nefariously here? Am I thinking too nefariously here? I don't think so. I don't even give a shit about the notoriety and the nefariousness of what's happening here. I just care about the money. And if they're going to be giving Baidu a contract in order to put their smart technology, I mean, just keep in mind, look at what happened with Huawei and 5G. You know, when it comes to Chinese technology, people are afraid of spying. Now, if you're putting Baidu parts in all these cars, and the Chinese government has direct access to all the IP, intellectual property, what do you think happens next? Baidu gets rewarded, in my opinion. And by reward, I mean further rewarded. It closed at 185. And I'm talking further rewarded from where it's going from here. And I think you're going to have a very interesting day. For me, the most exciting part about Baidu would be when it, starts digesting down, maybe puts in a nice bull flag, and then we could catch it again. But it's definitely going to be a name 100% you have to watch tomorrow, in my opinion, going into the Mizuho conference. Now, with that being said, all this sus talk going on, we're going to go right into the S marks. And yes, welcome to the only guru in the industry who actually talks about their members' problems, as opposed to just sitting here and pitching you. There are links in the descriptions if you're interested in our services, and that's the last you'll hear of them. Hello, Mark. I joined the room about 5 days ago. Welcome to our family. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm still getting used to the system. Amen. But I love the energy in the room, helps me boost my confidence when trading. I've been trading common stock for about 2 to 3 months, and today, thanks to your help, I have made a big step. I have traded my first options contract. Just keep in mind, I don't give stock picks recommendation advice or tell people to trade options or even use toilet paper. It was a one and done on Apple, and it was a small win, but I'm very proud of it. It was My only trade of the day because I'm switching to a cash account where I could trade more than 5 times without being flagged. So he's under pattern day trading rule, I'm assuming. And I believe he feels if he goes cash, he could just use the cash in his account and trade as much as he wants with the cash. It felt very good to take this step, and I'm ready for the rest. Every day I learn something that will help me become better and boost my confidence. I feel that starting slow will help me gain gradual confidence and build a mindset that will enable me to become a consistent trader. Thank you again for all your help, and I'm ready for more. Thank you for the beautiful email. Again, welcome to our family. I will. I'm looking forward to helping you and serving you on your journey in any way that I obviously can. Um, Next email, Pandemic and Trading is the title. Hello, Mark and Newsbeat Live Bandits. First, let me address something about our current pandemic situation. Me and my spouse have been absent in the room and unable to actively trade due to the rapid rise of COVID 19 infections. The rate of patient admissions, I mean, do you have a computer virus? The rate of patient admissions are currently overwhelming, which surpasses the initial burst of early this year. It is indeed scary. This being said, I humbly urge the members of the room in asking for your help to do these three things so as to not to overwhelm us with multiplying infections. One, wash your hands. This works. So just so we're clear, um, I think this is a very important thing. It's one of the things that I don't consider myself like a germaphobe. Like I have a 2-year old who pretty much sticks his hand in his diaper and just pretty much like pokes me in the eye with his like tainted finger. And as much as that's disgusting and I try to wash it, like I don't consider myself a germaphobe, but I do wash my hands all the time. I step inside the bathroom, just wash my hands. It feels better. I don't know why. Not because I think I'm cleaning my hands. It just feels good to wash your hands. I just like the feeling of water on them. I definitely couldn't agree more with this. Wash your hands. Social distancing, this works. Yeah, sure, it works. For some people, it is impossible. I do agree with it to a certain extent. It's kind of effed up because if you're reading the things that I'm reading, first of all, people receive packages from Amazon. I read somewhere that cardboard, it's a living thing, by the way, if you didn't know. Trees, cardboard can hold the coronavirus. So I know some people who like keep their packages outside for a certain amount of time, hoping that the oxygen will kill the virus. I mean, and for some people, it's impossible to socially distance. For some people, it's impossible. And yes, definitely try to definitely try to stay as safe as possible. It's a horrible thing. Wear a mask or any facial covering. This works. My spouse and I are intraday scalpers and have moved our account from 4,000 to 38,000. Another Newsbeat live success story. However, you see this coming, Mark. We went from intraday scalpers, which is what we do best, to swinging and overnighting due to the fact that we have to be at work to assist patients with COVID. All right, so you're actually on the front lines. I get it. So you were making money scalping, and because you had to literally be on the front lines, God bless you, taking care of people, you're assisting people who are actively not just infected with COVID, I'm sure exuding, horrible symptoms of COVID. Needless to say, we are not swingers by nature. Mark, I know you can do so many things with that statement. I know. I just smiled and held back. Don't tempt me, please. My brain is going in so many directions. I'm just going to focus on the email from here. Thank you. We do not do stop loss during intraday scalping. We sell and exit our positions when our trade goes south. And so we carry that over to swing trading, which I believe is a huge mistake. In any case, our account is down to 3,000, and so we are going to stop trading for a while before we get our account to zero. Nothing to show. We will not leave the room because we know this is the best trading room and you cannot find this in any other VTF. We're just worried we will be left behind and we will be catching up too far back, but it is what it is. We have to protect our patients and do what we do to avert needless deaths. Thank you, and we will see you again hopefully soon. Have a wonderful, wonderful night. Happy trading and make money. Respectfully, the dynamic duo. All right, so here we have somebody who's obviously a doctor, um, who knows that him and his wife are scalpers. They brought their $4,000 account to 38,000. They absolutely love the service. They're saying this is better than every other VTF out there. In terms of consistency and success rate of the members on average, yes, we are by far the best service in the industry. And again, I will take that Pepsi challenge any day, anytime, anywhere. And thank you for having faith. But we're dealing with a story where they basically went from 4 to 38,000 and all the way down to 3,000. So they went like this and all the way back down because they were unable to focus on the market again and they started doing overnight positions. My only question is if you were doing all the overnight positions in the recent month or two. I mean, I've mostly winners and few losers recently and winners and losers recently, but um, you know, I mean, people are making a shit F ton of money with our overnights. We're not one of those, we're not scammy princess show your leg and talk about dark pools on Facebook overnight accounts. We don't throw you 15, 20 names in your face and pretend like you could take them all and manage them because we're not full of shit here like other services in the industry. But how the F did you do that? And I'm saying that endearingly, and I have nothing but love for you and your wife, and God bless you. And if you want me to make a donation to the hospital or office that you work in, all you have to do is share a link, and I will hit that shit up like no tomorrow. I'll hit that shit up with a nice donation. You just give me the link for that. Now that aside, whose overnights were you taking? You weren't doing scammy princesses show your leg with a smile overnight, right? The one that focuses on dark pools. You weren't doing her, right? Hmm. Wonder where you. I'm a little bit upset at this because I understand where you're coming from. You know what went wrong. You know what you do well, and it almost feels like you still wanted to be part of the market while still trying to save lives on the front line, and that's what hurt your account. I don't have anything smart to say other than Um, I will be unveiling an overnight service. Don't worry, keep your credit cards in your pockets. This is not a shitty service that throws a dozen $5 and $10 names at you and pretend like we know what we're talking about because we're, a pump and dump room where a few people do well and the rest get effed royally. That sort of overnight service. But I will be doing a real overnight service that takes real names that our room does not and cannot have a major effect on names like Boeing, Tesla, Disney, real companies, not companies that a small community of traders can easily, manipulate. You ever see those services? And I think you might have got caught into one of them. That's what I'm afraid of because you weren't taking all my overnights with those sort of results going from like 30. I'm sorry. And I'm sorry if this is upsetting me right now. And I know you're coming from a good place. And yes, please social and what I was saying with the social distancing, like you can't socially distance because you're on the front line. So I kept reading and I understand that you have patience now. I get it. Yes, do everything you can to stay safe and everything. I know you are getting overwhelmed with multiplying infections. I got your back. If you want, I will donate N95 masks or money to your um, hospital or whatever, and um, I'll hit up the shit out of them if you want. Like it'll be like Christmas came early for these people if you want. Just hit me up with a link. But again, that aside, you went from you and your wife are scalping. You basically made 9.5 times your money of your account from 4,000 to 38,000. I mean, truly backing what people say here that we are by far, bar none, the best room for small accounts to potentially grow. And again, you know, everybody has these results, but I see these things more and more commonly. With that being said, you said you got down to 3,000, and I understand why you're stopping trading. However, I'm not saying my overnight service will or will not be good for you or anyone else, but I will be turning it into more of a professional thing. I want to do it by the new year. And of course, as usual, I will be giving it free to Newsbeat Live members. And if you don't have time to be a Newsbeat Live member, I will go through T3 and try to make it a standalone service. I want to call the service Give a Man a Fish. I'm not going to teach you bullshit education about how to take a bunch of small cap names, a bunch of $5 and $10 names that I ran on a scam. I mean, a scan. I'm not going to go ahead and do that for you and pretend like I know what I'm talking about and then, flash you a P&L in which you guys helped make for me because I bought in while sharing with you the names that I like and having you drive up the P&L and L and then showing you the P&L and L and make you go, wow, and see how that works here in our industry. Sorry, I'm a little bit upset about your account going to 3,000 because you have what it takes when you went from 4 to 38 and you had to change it to go on the front lines. My heart is with you. I love you too, guys. I love you and your wife. Keep doing the strong thing. Keep doing the best thing possible. And you know, I absolutely love you guys. So keep it real. I got your back. If you feel like you fell behind, I will do everything I can to catch you up. Hi, Mark. I would like to nominate these two fine gentlemen for a diamond. Nomination for Diamond CT. CT and I had communicated via email the past few days in regard to the PDF he just made. I had a question about the same matter. I did not contribute to it in any way. And even though it wasn't completed, he took the time to answer my questions back and forth. He's done an amazing job putting that PDF together. I know the room agrees. That has been in the works for a while, and I know that for most of us, it's going to be incredibly valuable information that would have taken the mages to understand. He's even stayed back in the room to answer further questions about the PDF. CT has a way of explaining things for educational purposes only, of course, things to others. I know he has on several occasions used his own time to answer questions for other Newsbeat Live members, so I wanted to put in a request to nominate him for a diamond. So certain members in a room, they get a diamond in front of their name. People who go above and beyond. Now CT's all blushing. He's like, CT tries to balance it out. He tries to help people, and then he eggs Boof on top of the Los Angeles cliffs down at his house. So he's trying to like keep it like sort of balanced. Uh, you're gonna need a massive majority here, otherwise it's um, we're gonna have a Newsbeat live poll. We will bring you guys inside the poll with us. Let's bring you guys watching here on the poll with us. Here's how the poll is going right now. The votes are still coming in. It's just hard to change it. All right, what I'm gonna do though is I'm gonna post the name of the jerk that said no. No, I wouldn't do that. I'm kidding. Just playing. Anyway, I'm not gonna post it in chat. I'm just gonna send it to CT's email and let him know who he is. Well, 10 more seconds to vote, guys. 1,374 of you. Go ahead and vote. Stop holding back. All right. That's it. That is it. That is it. So, now I gotta hold on. Let me just email CT the name of the person that said no and send that a group blast. Just 1 second. No. Just kidding. You can vote no if you want. I don't give a shit how you vote. Anyway, say CT, do you want a diamond? Yes or no? The tribe has spoken. If you say no, if you accept it, you accept it. If you don't accept it, You don't accept it. Yes or no? It's up to you, bro. I humbly accept, thank you. So, I will be writing a note. Um, uh, the room has spoken. Okay. Next part of the email. Nomination for Diamond Harry Potter. This guy is so humble. He spent 3.5 hours without even asking me without me even asking for it, and then did it again when I asked to clarify things he mentioned before last time. When we spoke, he was patient, he was understanding, and these are Newsbeat Live members and what they do for random people inside our family. These are traders who literally turned the corner into massive consistency and are reaching out and helping others. That's the type of community you have here in the Newsbeat Live Room, just so we're clear. And right now, somebody's trying to nominate them for diamonds. I mean, I'm going to vote no for Harry right now, but I can't really. Nah, I actually can't vote, but if I throw the poll. Anyway, when we spoke, he was patient, understanding, did not mind repeating himself to help me better understand things. If it wasn't for him, I was ready to call it quits. And while I am far, far away from being consistent yet, I am glad Harry told me the things he did, which helped me better understand the overall process and not be overwhelmed by it. I know he doesn't like being mentioned like this, but I know Harry frequently helps out Newsbeat Live members and has possibly spent hours and hours to share what he knows, be it in chat or over the phone. I wish to nominate him for a diamond too. Appreciate if this can be taken into consideration. All right. We are talking about Harry, and we're gonna run a poll here, and there are many Harrys here. This is I don't know, Indian Harry. We love him. Let's see, Harry for. I mean, this is. I mean, we're gonna give Harry a diamond. Yes or no, and yeah, we're putting you on the spot. And Harry for a diamond. All right. Should Harry? Whoops. Whoops. Let me send the poll. Try this again. Throw in your votes, Newsbeat Live members. Throw in your votes. He still has to. He could say no. He could be like, "Screw you guys. I don't want this shit." I'd be like, "Okay. I don't want a diamond. I wouldn't nominate myself for one. I'd be like that Mark Melnick guy. Psh, psh, screw him." Come on, all of you. Keep flooding them in. It doesn't look like it's moving, but votes are actually like flooding in right now as I speak. It just doesn't look that way because there's such a high number who voted yes. Keep voting. We're going to give it a 10, 9, 8, siete, seis, cinco, cuatro, tres, dos, uno, cero, y media, cero, 0. All right. So, Harry, dost thou accepteth thy knighthood in the diamond among the ranks of the females of this room? Dost thou accepteth thy diamond? Harry? Um, Harry's like, will people be offended if well, I think one or two members voted for you, but I would not be offended if you said no. You don't have to accept it. We still love you the same. Do you want it? All right, he said no and then yes. I'll give you one more time. Just give me a yes or no, Harry. The the vast majority voted for you. I logged in my T3 app and voted against you personally because that's how I feel, but we're all entitled for it. All right, fine. You guys are gonna regret it. You should have voted with me. All right, hold on. All right. Wow. Okay. Let's move on to the next Ask Mark email. Mark, I decided this morning to tear down massively and just try to focus on making the correct decisions. I had another red day yesterday, so I really wanted a green day today for my psychology. Thanks for answering my email last night at the last minute, and thanks for all you do. Here are today's trades. All right, I don't know if these are good or bad. Let's take a look. And just give me a second. I'm going to print screen them and copy them so everybody watching online can see it very easily. And I'll blow it up for you guys. Boom. All right. So you tried AMD on the Mark 1. You're trying it with common stock, as I can see. Toxic overnight, LOL. Total front run loss, $47. Daily P&L, you made $263. Your note was you traded very well, was locked in and focused on what I was doing and executed upon what I do best, which is what you need to do. Note your hit rate goes down after 10. Let's see if that's a permanent thing or just for today. That's an excellent thing to know. I love the notes you took. You know exactly what strategies you do well. All these strategies you guys see here, besides for the toxic overnight, which was his own decision. All the strategies you see right there are strategies we give you for free in the room. Chart reset Mark 1, Mark 1, Mark 5, 1 minute, know your limit 8. He knows exactly what he does best. It seems like the Mark 5s tagged you today while the Mark 1s were your bread and butter. Again, you would probably need to have more information before you knew this for sure, but very nice. Pocketing a very humble, modest, nice salary. Look, 1,300, say whatever you want. That's like 60 grand a year. Um, and you were taking it real slow today to try to get yourself psychologically back on track, and that's worth 100 times whatever P&L you see there. So, nice job. You're welcome for answering your email. And yeah. All right, this is from the gentleman who talked algos yesterday. Dr. Mark. I'm a love doctor. Keep your rotation on the, have all the 411 on your rotation. I come around. Just saying. I want to make it clear that I have zero interest in making an algo after my proven failures, and now I simply am attempting to manually trade tight options on your C strategies. Okay, I get it. I know you were. I know I alluded to the algo thing yesterday. I was confused, but I do understand now. After all, this is what you and so many of your students are doing to achieve tremendous P&L consistency. How arrogant would I have to be to simply not try to mimic this process in every way? It's not arrogance. You just got to do what you do best. I wouldn't look at it like that, but I can understand why you want to go that way. Especially given my consistent failures in your room over the past 3 years, I have zero ego for good reason. So this is somebody who's been failing in my service over the past 3 years. Again, I'm only asking about how you approach things yourself, never for advice. Thank you. Quick question. I have now watched your front run video 10 times. The 3 second rule for front runs is unclear to me. I get it. I get that if the stock offer goes below where it was at entry during the first 3 seconds, then you exit immediately. That's a generalization, but a lot of times this generalization is true. After 3 seconds, I don't understand how the situation changes. All right, so for example, oops. Oopsie. Here, let's take a look at this. So let's say you're dealing with this. let's say you're dealing with this and you got some candles here and then they start going down and down and then you're on this candle right over here and you're trying to determine if it's going to go up. So what you do is you front run it right over here. And let's say your trigger is at the top of it. I know, Picasso at work here. And the top of the trigger is right here. So you see it going towards it. You happen to front run right there. Let's say this price, let's say the trigger is $10, right? The trigger is $10 0 cents. And your front run level here was 990. Just making stupid numbers up. Um, let's say that's the case. Let's say that's the case. So back to your question, let's say you enter in at 990. After 3 seconds, I don't understand how the situation changes. After 3 seconds, the way, and this is just obviously for myself, and you're not asking for advice as you said above. For me personally, if the stock is trading above 990, and by above 990 meaning there's a 991 offer or higher, is what I mean by above 991. So if the bid is at 989 and the offer is at 991, I might make an argument that you're above there. And if it goes to 992, 993, 994, 993, 994, 995, 992, 993, I could be as stubborn as I want. But if I see the offer 989, 988, 987, I don't give an F what you think or what I think or what the stock thinks. That thing is getting dropped quicker than somebody who would slap you in the face on boost rotation. That's how quickly that thing gets dropped. So like, get rid of it is what I would do myself personally. I can't tell you what to do. That's what happened. So after 3 seconds, even though the trigger is $10 and you entered in, let's say at 990, I want to see that offer 991 after. So let's say you buy it at 990, it goes 989, 998, 988, 990, and then your third second stops. As long as you see an offer there at 991, I don't want you to be down anything significant or at all, either case. So I do want to see an offer there at 991 or higher. And then do whatever the F you want. Really, do whatever the F you want. I don't care. You want to be a stubborn SOB while you're up money? Who am I to argue? You can do whatever you want. I'm talking about myself here, of course. You want to be a stubborn you? I'm talking to myself. You want to be a stubborn SOB while you're losing money? F that. Why do you think 98? Why do you think 95, 94, 98, 97, 93, 94% of every single trader in every other trading room here, Wall Street, there, across the country, why do they all fail? Why? Why? I know people don't like asking this question. I know it's like, oh, you're making fun of the guru and scammy princesses show your leg dark pool advertise on Facebook. I need a facial service. Like, no, I'm just being honest. That's why they fail, because people take 2-to-1 risk rewards and they want to risk 50 cents to make a dollar. And that's, in my opinion, just my opinion. Disagree. Maybe you're one of the people who don't do it. That's why the vast majority of traders fail. They can't handle the loss. I don't think you're supposed to handle a loss. I don't think you're supposed to risk $500 to make 1,000. I don't think you're supposed to risk $1,000 to make 2,000. To me, that's bullshit. How many times I make $2,000 without risking 1,000? I can't even count. I'm just doing it multiple times a day. It feels like I have to look where I'm making way more money when I'm right and losing way less when I'm wrong. Every moment of every day for the rest of my life forward is how I feel about that scenario. Yes, anything can happen, but that's my life. That's a lot of people's lives. How do I accomplish that? I don't like holding positions that are down money. The only time I'll hold a position and take a small loss on it after holding for a while is if I sell 80, 90% of my position at a profit. And if I sell the 10% lower than let's say you buy 1,000 shares at 9.90 and it goes up to $10.10, you're up 20 cents. You sell 900 shares, you make 20 cents on 900 shares, you're up $180. Now you have 100 shares at 9.90. And if you want to set your stop at 9.85 at that point, I don't give a shit. You want to set it at 9.80? I don't give a shit. You want to set it at 950? I do not give a shit. You want to buy 1,000 shares at 990 and watch it go to 988, 987, 986, 985? Yeah, I give a shit. See how that works? And again, I can't say that you need to give a shit. I'm just saying that's where I give a shit. I can't legally tell you what to do. You get it? Excellent question. Secondly, in your limit out video, I did so I've done more videos than anyone here at T3. I just keep in mind, I do not remember a limit out video, even though I'm positive I've done a dozen of them. You said that if you are up money, this will change how you exit. However, you also said you are focusing on the stock level 2 to enter and exit instead of the options level 2. Yeah, that's my main focus, but a lot of times I'll quickly glance over to throw out an offer. I won't be like, I'm not allowed to look at my options level 2 here while I'm just looking at the stock level 2. I mean, don't take anything to the nth degree. However, you also said you're focused on the stock level 2 tender and exits of the options level 2. So how do you know if you are up money on your options position if you're not looking at it while in the trade? Well, as a generalization, when I buy a stock and I see the stock level 2 shooting up, generally I am up money. Generally. Generally when I buy a stock and it falls, generally, not even always, I am down money. So you're asking how do I know if I'm up money? Because I'm looking at the stock. And yeah, I can glance over at the options. For example, I buy an option and I could just quickly glance over to see where I'm filled like for a second. Like literally for me, it's like this. Literally in less than a microsecond I could glance at my filled position in my position window and glance back at the level 2. So let's say I buy Tesla calls and I buy 10 calls at $10 and $10,000 bet, right? So I buy 10 calls at $10. And by the way, I usually do cheaper options on this, so don't think like this is the norm. Um, and then all of a sudden, now this week on Tesla, it's more of the norm, obviously, even $20 options at times. And then Tesla, I look at Tesla, it triggers, the implied volatility shoots up, just like it does on practically all my setups, right? See how that works? And I quickly glance. I notice I'm filled at $10, and I see the bid at 10.50 and the offer at 10.75. Just making it up, but that's all. Generally, I've been in a situation like that before. And I'm like, I have 10 options. I'm up either, it seems $500 at worst at this exact second, considering nothing changes. It may be $700 at best. A lot of times I'll just mark it out and I'll get filled at 1063 or 1058, and I'll just be like, okay, $500 in a matter of seconds. Taking it. Next. 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 You know how many 5-figure days I had doing that? Next. 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 Oh, I'm down money. F you. Bye. Oh, I'm up money. F you. Bye. Oh, my stock's not moving. F you. Bye. You know what? I'll explain it like this. What Tupac said. Tupac says that you got to get your cash on MOB. You got to get your cash on MOB. That's money over buying and holding because they breed envy. You see, sitting there and holding losing positions sucks. It sucks. It's a shitty feeling. That's why when these gurus who, whether they make money or not, and they watch 95, 98, 94, 96% of the people around them blowing up their accounts, and they say, you just risk here and you try to make this much and you try to make this 2 to 1, and then they'll start mathematically showing you mathematically if you make 2 to 1 when you're right or wrong, you bet 50%, you take 100 trades, blah, 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 you're going to make this much money. You're like, that works. And of course, there's more psychological evidence out there over the past 40 years that really, to me, disproves that entire methodology for the entire industry. Yet, for some reason, Wall Street considers that the gold standard. The 1.5 to 1, the 2 to 1, the 2.5 to 1, the 3 to 1, the 4 to 1, the 5 to 1 risk reward in your favor. Bet 50% in your gold. I don't believe in that. I take a different approach. If that works for you, God bless you. I have 13 years running rooms. I have seen that fail the vast majority of people. Okay? I hate that I must focus on the minutia. Don't. You are asking questions which are verbal gold. And I could not be happier with the questions you're asking because the shit you're asking is the shit that everybody else should be asking, but you're actually doing it. Please focus on the minutia. Tell me where you're lost. That's why I'm here. That is why I am here answering you. That is why I'm not with my family during Hanukkah playing with my kids who want to try to bite my eyeballs out and stick, you know, shit fingers inside my mouth and I want to rip daddy's mouth open. That's why I'm here doing this with you. So you can ask these questions because this is gold. As this must be bothersome to you and exposes my weaknesses. Expose your weaknesses. I want to make you strong. I want to eliminate what you do bad. I want to heighten you up. I want to teach you. I want to do this, anything I can to help you. Bothersome? Do I seem bothered? I'm like, I have more zest in my step. Like, I'm like a little turned on by this whole thing because I'm so happy you asked this question. Bothersome? I mean, are you gonna buy me a bottle of wine or dinner or something? I mean, you could really just hit it home right now. But hey, in the end, my greatest strength will end up being the fact that I am aware of my weaknesses. Amen. 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 That's what we say after the Hanukkah prayer. Amen. Amen to you. Amen. Self delusion never ends up being profitable. Amen. Can I get an amen, guys in the room? My greatest strength will end up being the fact that I'm aware of my weaknesses. Amen. Self delusion never ends up being profitable. Amen. Thank you for the beautiful email. Nothing but love for you. Great day, your opinion, please, is the next email. Hi, Mark and everyone. I'm really happy and just want to share it with people that can understand more than, hey, I made X amount. You mean like other, like, scammy princess guru who shows only her legs and P&L while destroying the lives of 95% of the people around them by focusing on bullshit? I understand where you're coming from. You know what? I have kind of a hairy leg here, but maybe I'll just talk to you guys like this. Hey guys, what's up? How you doing? You like that? I didn't shave. How do you like that? Maybe that'll bring people into the service. Hey, I made X amount and get what I'm really saying. I had a wonderful day. I made some mistakes, but nothing. That's what I need to do on the next marketing video. I need to show some hairy leg. Kind of hot. I had a wonderful day. I made some mistakes, but nothing I will sit around being obsessive and angry at myself for. I didn't tilt in any way. That's a first that I feel really good about in and of itself. Here we go. You made mistakes, but nothing you're going to sit around and be obsessive and angry at yourself for. You didn't tilt. You're growing psychologically. Excuse me. You're getting to the next level. You are becoming a better trader by just this sentence. I ended up the day green, $949. For me, that is a really, really big feat. Like super, super big. Not because it's my best day ever for profit. I've made more once. I've made more once, so it's your second biggest day. It's because it's my best day ever for trusting who I am becoming as a trader. Look at that line. I've made more once. He made more once before, but it's his best day because he trusted for the first time who he's transforming to into a trader. And it's something that I tell you guys all the time. You have to know what you do best, and I show you ways in which you can potentially discover who you truly are as a trader. Don't say, "Oh, I like this. I'm going to try this" with your 10 thumbs on the keyboard. Don't do that. Discover who you really are. That's how you get consistent. You want to know why we have the most consistent trading room here on Wall Street? You want to know why we have the most consistent trading room here in T3? By far, because I can come out, unlike other rooms on Wall Street, and ask this to my members. Again, this is me boasting. This is how I boast. This is how I boast. If I need to show a P&L that will dwarf other gurus' P&Ls, I could do that too. But that's not how I boast. This is how I boast. Helping other people succeed. That's what this world is about. That's what my service is about. Doing what I do well and making far more very good decisions than incorrect ones. Not not wrong or bad, just incorrect in that moment. That is so easy to live with. So this is what you're talking about, huh, Mark? What a feeling. You're damn right that's what I'm talking about. Today, at the end of the day, I had two killer trades going. Baidu and Chewy. We just talked about Baidu tonight. Sparkle. Ding. Baidu and Chewy were my watches this morning. After seeing chart strength, I bought calls in both within the first 15 minutes of the market open with enough quantity to sell off and have runners from the profit that I held all day. Can you even believe that? You're tapping into your feminine side, and I love it. Women are better traders than men. They hold better than men, and you just tapped into your feminine side. Congratulations. So at the end of the day, I knew I wanted to keep one overnight. I made enough on both, so I could not lose even if the overnight I chose tanked. Can you seriously even believe that? I can. I chose to keep Chewy, not because I knew good technical reasons to keep it over Baidu. I chose it because it was up more money and I wanted to lock it in. Plus, I didn't want to run multiple nights. That's too much for me at this point. So, if you were in the same situation, one or the other, what would you have chosen based on an actual technical knowledge? I would have chosen Baidu because Baidu had one of its biggest green closes with the biggest green close with volume this year. I mean, there was volume over here, but the bar closed, lower than where it opened. This red bar over here. This was the strongest close Baidu had, in my technical opinion, all year. Chewy, ooh, that was a very good one too. That was a very good one too. But here's what I would do on Chewy. Every time Chewy has, with the exception of this time right here, blasted through the Bollinger Band and closed. You gap down the last time. You gap slightly up the last time. You gapped slightly up the time before that, slightly up the time before that. So, Chewy can definitely work. Personally, because of just the massive oversize and volume in Baidu, doing the similar situation, I would have chose Baidu, and I know in hindsight I could see Baidu's gapped up, after hours, but I would have, between those two, chosen Baidu. But that's all right. Congratulations. Good job on the great day. Keep up the absolutely awesome work. Um, hmm. All right. Someone converted a PDF for me. Recover from toxicity, back to basics. I see. I see. Awesome. So somebody literally shared what they do. Um, they literally shared what they do to try to get back from a hard situation and what they listed for themselves. If you guys want it in the room, it's inside your room folder. But I will move on to the next email. Greatly appreciate everything. Hope all is well with you and your family. Trying to get back into the game and just wanted to say hello. Well, hello. Just basically type back, said hello back. Moving on. Time is it? All right. Moving on. Damn, it's kind of hot here, showing all that hairy leg. Gotta lower the AC a little. Woo! All right. Let's move on to the next email. All right. Hi, Mark. I'm writing to you having nearly blown out my account twice. I think it is time to hear you tell me what I should already know, but with 23 years of experience, that's two more than not myself. Um, well, I'm 21 and a half years, whatever. I suspect you have heard this tale before and will hear it again. I promise to be coachable. As a history, I've been used to swing trading with holds of days to months, so your methods are strange to me, and frankly, I'm still learning many of them. I won't bore you with all my daily wins and losses. They don't bore me. I probably trade too much. Maybe yes, maybe no. I will often have 15 to 20 trades a day, and while I am watching one, another, which may have been doing well, nosedives. This is, and thank you for this line here, because we're talking about a 23-year veteran as a trader. And that's why, and again, I know I said this before, and for everyone watching right now, you know how they say change my mind? Change my mind. Every single guru in the industry will give you either very smaller cap, sub $20 names, 5, 2, 10, $15 names for the most part, or they will show you them loading up a bunch of different positions, usually 5 or more. Every guru in the I have not found one guru in the industry, serious guru, like let's say somebody running a room with 300, 400 people or more. I have not found one service in the industry that has a guru who doesn't do that. Every single, with the exception of myself, I have never found a guru who actually doesn't try to load you with a bunch of trades. Most people, guess what? I have news for you, which is obvious for everyone. It's easier for you to manage one stock than two stocks than three than four than five than six. Get my point? So when people 99.999999999% of the time, I have one trade on or zero trades on. More likely zero. Most of the time of the day, I have zero positions open. And again, as a generalization, I make more money than these gurus, I believe. At least the ones that show their P&L. I make more money than them. I have less psychological toxicity than them. From what I can see, I don't blow up my room members as much as them, in my opinion. I haven't met a guru who can hold a 10% retention rate or better, outside of me, of course. And I'm not boasting, I'm just keeping it real. I was a shit for brains guru for more years than I was good. And I don't have a bad, it doesn't come from being bad or evil. It's just ignorance. And I was ignorant. And all these gurus today, in my opinion, are ignorant. So they teach you that sitting there and holding a bunch of positions is the way to go. And there are people who do it in my room who do it really well. And I respect them. There's nothing wrong with doing that. Don't get me wrong. But but these traders come in like with these small accounts and these new traders and they're like, yeah, just open up 5 positions. I'm like, what? 10 positions. I'm like, what kind of crack pipe are you smoking? That looks like some really good shit. Pass it clockwise, please. So I'm happy you pointed this sentence out where, you know, yeah, 15 to 20 days, 20 trades a day, and while you're watching one, another that was doing well starts to nosedive. Once you go 2 or more positions, you're giving up control. Every position you have open, you're giving more control to the market, and you're like, market, move my P&L, and it's just whipping you up or down. Then you'll have some people who will do call spreads and buy these calls, but short those calls, or buy puts to cover them. And I'm like, look, you want to do that? I respect that. I got it. I get what you're doing, but you're gonna blow up 95% of the people around you. Even if you look good in a speedo, even if you have a nice smile, even if you have some hot girls next to you, even if your boyfriend is a videographer, even if you have sexy title on your thing, but very unsexy legs and you like dark pools and you're a scam princess, even if you do things like that, you're still going to destroy the lives of the people around you. These gurus are destroying more lives than they're helping, and they're coming with good intentions. I believe that most people in this industry, in my position, are good people who try to help others. I believe that from the bottom of my heart. But if we're being honest as well, I do believe that they are destroying, I mean, way more lives than they are helping. And they have to sit there and they're going to have to measure how much fun they have getting paid from these people whose lives are being destroyed as opposed to the ones they're helping. And I'll admit, that was me. I'll be the first to admit. The other gurus won't admit it here in Wall Street, but they're all in the same category. I was that guru. And I know because even though I don't receive statements and I can't prove it to you, but look, if 90%, if 95%, if 85% of the people who are with me a year later are gone, what does that say about me? It means they weren't making money. I wasn't able to help them for whatever they're doing for educational purposes only, right? I wasn't able to do it, right? That is why I changed everything that I'm doing, which you're talking about now, because you've been trading 23 years. You've been trading a couple years longer than I. I'll tell you right now, I get it. That's why I changed. Because even though I was able to make money, it had to be more about the end user making money. Because if they weren't making money on average, if I saw that my retention rate was 5%, like, every other room here, hundreds of rooms here. I mean, how many rooms are there here on Wall Street? I mean, think about it. It's mind blowing, right? Then why the F am I a guru? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. All right. I get a paycheck. Lovely. It has to be about something bigger. And that's where my change came through. So I wanted to highlight that. So I'm going to go bigger with fewer trades. All right. Bigger won't be much bigger as my account is once again below PDT threshold, in fact, below $10,000. Here is my monthly balance since joining Newsbeat Live, beginning of each month. May, starting here, feeling hopeful. So he started in my room in May with a $15,100 account. By June, he's up to 21,900. Just getting started up 25%. Um, I mean, you're up more than 25% if you went from 15.1 to 21.9, right? Anyways, you're whatever. Um, Looks like a 40% gain to me, but what do I know? more than 40%, but who's counting? Anyway, 41%, who's counting? Anyway, $58,700, feeling really great, planning on gifting our two kids nicely at Christmas, maybe a new cars in the future. So already he started in May with 15 grand. July comes, May to June, June to July, because he's saying first of the month. So 2 months in of trading, he's up to 58,700. He just short of quadrupled his account. August comes, he's up to $89,100 in our service. Just back from 2 weeks without trading on vacation. Looking forward to hitting six figures. I think this is a mistake, by the way. I don't like looking forward to money. I like just trading smart the whole time. This is where this type of psychology screws people up. Very positive September, 100,800 I did it. So from May to June, July, August, September, 4 months, he took a $15,000 account here and brought it to $100,800. My sister wouldn't accept me paying off her mortgage, which was my original goal. Want to buy a car with the dollars, but I'm going to keep working this higher. $57,000. His account got sliced by 43%. Holy crap. I can't believe I cut my account in half in a month. Time to hunker down and be more careful. Account is still tripled from the start, but feeling poorly about what I have done to it. And this is where the psychological toxicity comes in. And even though you're up money, you're still suffering mentally. And that's why I tell you guys it's more about the money. And this is the perfect, you know, this is the perfect reason. This is a perfect reason why you got to be careful. Because even though you're making money, you're suffering psychological toxicity. And just going to some website I made up called the American Psychological Association, um, I do this to prove my points. If you actually and read it yourself, don't I made up all these words here, but if you actually go read up on, and I'm telling you, go read Effin Common and Tversky's loss aversion principle. And it tells you why all these gurus who give you the 2-to-1 risk reward and bat 50-50 are psychological scam artists. Each and every one of them, all of them. Because even if you can bat 50-50, according to Kahneman and Tversky, if you believe their loss aversion, if you don't believe it, they're just full of shit, fine. But read it and come out with your own conclusion. With Kahneman and Tversky's loss aversion principle, they say for every equal loss to equal gain, if you win a dollar when you win, lose a dollar when you lose, the psychological damage is 2.5 times greater from the loss than from the win. So anybody with a 2-to-1 risk reward ratio is psychologically destroying you. And if they read Kahneman and Tversky's loss aversion principle and still do it, they're borderlining evil at that point. And speaking of evil, believe it or not, tonight's episode was the 666th episode of the Newsbeat show, and I literally held a vote in the room, and we made it the 667th show, just to keep it real and honest. Um, just giving you my opinion. So I just highlighted a line. People should avoid lotteries, and read it yourself. Don't take these words for granted. People should avoid lotteries, in my opinion, trades, which give a 50-50 chance for gains and losses because the negative repercussions weigh heavier than the positive ones. So even though you might be seeing a trader, not this, even if you might be seeing a trader here, you might say, well, he went from 15,000 and he's at 57,000. How many people say that they could have almost quadrupled their account in a year? Yeah, you lost some, but you're still up massively. I wish I was in this person's position. Some of you might be saying right now, but believe me, it is not true. The people who own Century, have you guys heard of Century 21? I know people who, let's just put it this way, I know who they are, the owners. And they were worth, I'm guessing, about 150 million. $150 million. Not the real estate, the clothing store, Century 21 here in New York. Not the real estate, not Century 21, the clothing store. I'm guessing. I think they were worth 150 million dollars. Not Forever 20, Century 21. Anyway, a lot of their stores shut down because of COVID, and they still might be worth 25 to 40, maybe 50 million. How many people would like to be in their shoes financially, being up 25 to 50 million? But let me tell you right now, they feel like shit, depressed, broken, mentally destroyed. Mentally destroyed after what happened to their businesses. They filed bankruptcy. And yes, they still have a ton of money, but only a fraction of what they once had. They are mental disasters. And for somebody like you who are struggling to pay your bills, you might be thinking, I wish I had their problems. Yeah, you wish you could snap your fingers and have their money in your bank account. But if you ever owned 25 million and then you looked at your bank account and you own 2 million, you would be a mess. You would be massively depressed. And I know that's impossible for some people to imagine, but trust me. So what he's saying right here, don't think, oh, well, he was up 15, and even with everything, he's up 57, he's doing the right thing. He is destroyed at this point mentally. Right now, he is in a very bad place mentally in October. I'm going to continue reading his email, but I need to put into context how this human being is feeling by giving you random made up examples. Time to hunker down and be more careful. Account is still tripled from the start, but feeling poorly about what I've done to it. Could have bought a car for my cash. Now it's all gone. I wonder if not paying off my sister's mortgage has jinxed me. She wouldn't even let me buy her a phone. So here's a dude, $15,000, makes an F ton of money in our room, goes up to 100,800 in a matter of 4 months. He brings his account from 15 to 100 in the Newsbeat live room and drops down to 57. November, $12,500. Now I've done it under 25,000, so I can't use margin and day trade. Back to cash, listening to too many members trying to grab wins, too many to watch, and I see a win and then go to something else while my win turns red while I'm away. This is where you effed up. How often do you ever walk away from a trade? I know people joke around and they take all these trades and whatever, and you wonder why gurus in my position, why everybody out here fails, why us gurus fail traders in the industry. Because this shit is not okay. I don't give an F what you say. I don't care if you've been trading 2 years longer than me. I don't care if you've been trading 40 years longer than me. You don't walk away from a position ever. Just to walk away from a win and do something else, what are you going to do? Like, what do you do? Oh, take a phone call. Hey, guy, I'm in a trade right now. You come back, what the F? All right, December comes. This month, he's up to $40,000, 39.9. Carefully climbed back up to where I can use margin again. Feeling better and confident, sent my sister $1,000 karma. December 11th. So now he's going last Friday. $9,200 left in his account. Crushed. I did it again. Let losses run at the end, knowing I couldn't buy more that day. Have to go back to cash and limited buying power. Said I would never do this again. Lost the equivalent of another car and my kids' gifting. Depressed, ashamed of what I have done with real money. When I got below PDT levels in November, I traded so carefully and went from margin to cash so I would not be limited by anything but my buying power. Once I got back to 41,000, I went back to margin and obviously overtraded and didn't cut my losses fast enough. I was used to swing trading, and yet recently, if I held overnighted stuff, I'd wake up down thousands of dollars. I know some of what I did wrong. I would follow your methods and get a decent entry, but not bail if it went against me. So you got a decent entry. If you're using the word decent entry, I'm assuming you're saying you were up money, but you didn't take it, you held it, and then it didn't work. I would try what others were having success with, but again, not manage them. Many members call out entries but not exits, and that's on me because, yes, there are people like me who are watching Apple this morning, and then, someone in the room held it while Apple was running all day. 5 minute chart of Apple. Some people, we were watching in the morning. It was one of the stocks on my radar. It exploded up, digested, and then leaned up afterwards. And there's some people who are just long from the morning who never sold it out. That was not me. But I was not managing the way I should have been, and they were getting away from me. I'm currently back over 10,000, but couldn't trade today as I have a margin call of 15,000 from trades I made that last day as I went below 25K. It will go away when my account clears the last trades and returns to cash. I never really borrowed money, just had the use instantly of dollars for trading while above 25,000, so I owe nothing. Mark, I share this reluctantly, but I think it is time to ask for ideas. I suspect you will tell me to go to paper trading, and that isn't what I want to hear, but it may be what I should do. What I plan on doing is never taking more than 3 trades unless a swing trade. I probably won't do those unless extremely well set up. I will also cut losses faster, way faster, and stop hoping they will come back and I'll be okay. That's very similar to what I was saying at the last email. When I'm down money, I think what helped me mentally, I can't say if it'll help you, is I don't give an F what I think. I look at a stock, I'm like, wow, this stock could potentially explode. I'll try to play it. If I don't see it going in the way I want it right away, I'll bail. I'll bail that thing. I'll drop that thing from my rotation quicker than, I don't know, something hilarious, quicker than Kim Kardashian gaining fame from a porno video. It's just like, just cut it out. If it doesn't work, just move on. Just move on. Just move on. That's what I do. And I can't tell you what to do, but that's what I do. Writing this has been embarrassing. It shouldn't. It's hard to write, but it shouldn't be embarrassing. You're writing what most people would not and have gone through. I have always given to your charities and others on my own. Right now, I don't feel I can do it. I need to get back to PDT minimums and trade smarter. I believe in you in the room. I know I can do it. I just got out over my skis. I just got out over my skis. Took too many contracts when I wasn't trading well and held them too long. I hope if anyone else in the room has experienced this, they can benefit from your answer. I also have a wife who isn't keen on my trading. Even when I was winning big, she didn't like it, doesn't like all the time on the computer. Please email me as to when you answer this, as I don't listen every night. My wife of 45 years feels I spend too much time on the computer and wants me off in the evening. So if you tell me by email what night you discuss this, I'll make sure I'll watch. I'll try to watch tonight. I want to thank you for all you do for so many. You are generous and truly caring. I will still try to contribute to the room, even if I can't contribute financially for a while. I will be giving to the Salvation Army locally. When I get back up, I'll start giving again. I want to thank many in the room: Judy, Boogie, Brian T, Alexandra, Eddie Joseph, Christy, my biggest cheerleader when I was climbing back up to 25,000. Kathy for some callouts that worked, although she and Brian have deeper pockets than I do, as well as many others, including Aiku, who I have missed lately. Oh, yes, Boof, you too. So if there are others who may have experienced this up and down swing, possibly your guidance will help them too. I was toxic recently from having to put down our 16-year-old Golden with our other Golden not too far behind. I'm assuming he means a Golden Retriever. I'm a sap for dogs and consider them part of the family. Trading has helped me keep my mind off their loss and the upcoming loss. Again, okay. When you lose the life of someone you love, especially a dog, which dogs are the best people you'll ever meet. Yes, I said dogs are the best people you'll ever meet. You tend to be psychologically toxic. One of the worst times to trade is after a divorce, breaking up with somebody, or losing the life of somebody. Those are the three worst times to trade. And I have this strong feeling that the psychological toxicity of losing your dog has been a big contributor to this. And it has nothing to do with you being weak. It has to do literally with overwhelming toxicity. And I know you love your dogs more than everything. I know you love your golden retrievers more than everything just by reading this email. And that is not an easy thing to handle. Yet you wanted to push through it because you love this job and you love making money. But let me tell you right now, for everybody watching, since you're asking me how I can help other people, you do not want to trade after losing a loved one. You do not want to trade after losing a loved one. You don't want to trade after breaking up with somebody, getting divorced, or losing the life of somebody you love. This is something you do not want to do because it will destroy you. I have seen over my career, I've been broadcasting. I'll be going on 14 years very shortly. In like February or March, I'll be going on like probably 14 years, I'm guessing. It's been so damn long. I have seen so many traders go through this from losing a loved one. And by looking at it's kind of weird. It's kind of weird because when I was reading your email, I was actually thinking to myself, did somebody die in your family lately? That was what I was getting to before I read this part of your email. The one thing I was getting to is what happened in your life recently? Did you lose someone in your family? Did you get divorced? Did you break up? What happened to you was going to be my next question because it was so obvious to me based on your numbers and based on your experience and based on what you're saying that the odds of that happening were just so astronomically high. I was actually going to ask you if this happened to you, and I'm literally reading it right here in your email. Trading has helped me keep. Again, Mark, thanks for all you do each day. Thanks also to your wife who shares you with us for so many hours each day. It's like when people thank me for my Navy service, and I'll thank you for your Navy service. I tell them to thank my wife who raised our kids for long periods while I was deployed. Cheers, Godspeed, and aloha. All right. Okay. Send me your phone number. Okay. I'm gonna reply to your email and just say you are the last email I answered. Can somebody send me a link to this video here so I could just share it with him real quick? Oh, there he is. So you were able to, since since he is there, you can listen to it again, sir. I'm gonna not respond to your email since you're here in the room. Um, I would like to speak to you on the phone. I think, just try to have somebody, because your wife doesn't like you being on the computer all day. She's probably right. She's probably right um, that you shouldn't be here all day. I mean, my wife is always right, and I'm sure yours is too. Why the F don't they play the lottery and just make our lives easy since they're always right, right? But you know, uh, sorry about your golden retriever. Um, if anybody's ever owned a dog, if don't even imagine that happening, but if you could imagine that happening, you would understand exactly what he's going through. And golden retrievers are also not those little, you know, excuse my language, those little yappy bitch dogs. Those things are like family members, loving, caring, overprotective, and everything. And I'll tell you, like, you don't know what that golden retriever was doing for him every day, and now that golden retriever is gone, and it's nothing more than a happy memory. My thoughts are when you have a dog that passes away, a dog you love, I can relate to that feeling. I'll tell you right now, what helped me get over it was just literally thinking of how much better that dog's life was because of you. And I know that sounds weird, and I know that sounds simple to just come out and say something like that. But if you could just for a moment think about how much better that dog's life was a result of you and you taking that dog into your family and into your life, um, I think I think that's going to get you to that next level. I think that's ultimately what you're going to need. I think that's ultimately what you're going to want to do. And just think of it like that. Think of it like that. Think of it like that is going to be what you do, sort of as your number one mentality of just getting into the realization that of what happened with the dog and try to think about how happy, forget about your life. Because if you think about how happy your life was with the dog, it's going to make you sadder, in my opinion. Think about how happy the dog's life was because of you and your wife. And if you could wrap your head around that, you'll be able to internalize the experience as something a lot more worthwhile as opposed to devastating. If you would like to talk to me, you could email me. I don't know when I'm going to call. I am so backed up on calls, um, but I will do my best when I do have a free moment to reach out. I hope you guys enjoyed this Newsbeat live trading broadcast and rather this news beach. A little frazzled myself. Happy trading, make money. We'll see you guys tomorrow.